Hey everyone, it's Rod with Pow Group. Welcome back in the Pursuit of Wealth, your home for MJ Stocks, crypto assets, news, and interviews. Today is Monday. Hope you had a great weekend, January 13th. And in this video, we're going to be discussing Canopy growth. We're going to take a look at the CGC price chart. I'll give my thoughts and opinions on the price action and the technicals in the days, weeks, months ahead. Spoiler alert, we do have a bear flag target of 221 USD, and we're about 6% away from that. So I am expecting another leg down, and we do have some bearish continuation patterns to be looking out for on the rest of the sector as well. But before we get to it, make sure to smash the like. It helps support me in the channel. If you're new, you can subscribe, tick the bell. You've been notified on any future videos or when I go live. And as always, this is not financial advice. This is for entertainment purposes only. Shout out to Elon and his platform X, formerly Twitter. Handle for that is @GroupPow. You can follow us over there. I'm going to be using that as my platform of choice going forward. So I've already covered CGC in a few videos, in the past month or so. And we were looking at this daily bear flag target, and we've just been seeing daily lower lows for the last week or so. And we had a target of about 221. So if we take a look at our daily lower low today, which is a brand new all-time low on CGC on the NASDAQ, you can see the low of the day today was 235. And the daily bear flag target, if we just take our measured move, we go from the high to the low there, move it out to our 0.32 fib, and it's saying the target is 221 USD. So if we look at the low of the day today to that target, we're just over 6% away from that daily bear flag target. And again, if you're only invested in CGC, let's just say, CGC is your only investment. And I'm not telling you to buy, sell, or hold. This isn't financial advice, as I mentioned. This is for entertainment purposes only. But let's just say you only own CGC and you don't care about anything else, right? Who cares about MSOS? Well, then you're not getting the whole picture, because the whole sector moves together, right? In tandem, not down to the day, the second, the minute. But when in doubt, zoom out, look at the monthly, look at the 6 month, look at the yearly. They all generally look the same, right? Because they're in the same sector, and it doesn't trade on fundamentals, doesn't trade on numbers. It's trading on sentiment and hype and boom and bust cycles, catalysts, etc. Case in point, look at Green Thumb. They have fantastic numbers, fundamentals. They're, they're profitable. They have great, like I said, they have great numbers and financials, but the stock's been crushed about 50% since April, right? So it doesn't matter how good your financials are. Everything's in one big bucket, and we're all in the same industry, and the whole industry's just been destroyed. So again, if you're not looking at other names in the space, you're not getting the entire picture. And if we take a look at MSOS, well, we have a daily bear flag on CGC. So what is the first assumption that I'm going to have when I look at MSOS or another name? I'm going to be looking for a daily bear flag target. And that's exactly what we have. Is we have a daily bear flag target here on MSOS. And what I like to look for is confluence. Basically, it just means repetition of a similar outcome, right? So if you're looking at a chart and there's a daily bear flag target, a head and shoulders, there's, an EMA 12 and 26 bear cross or something like that, and you got multiple pattern signals all singing the same tune. If everything, all these indicators and signals are all pointing to the same level, well, that's what we're going to expect, right? So the more confluence, the better. I'm not sure if my dog is too distracting in the background. I think he's playing with my daughter in the other room. So hopefully it's not too distracting, but we'll bring it home here for an ending. I'm trying not to lose my train of thought here, but we could see an EMA 12 and 26 bull cross on CGC, but they're quite a ways away before we see those cross at the moment. So it's going to be a while. And same thing with MSOS. You can see here it's going to be a while before we see the bull cross there on the EMAs as well. So I wouldn't rule out another potential leg down as the most likely scenario. I think we more than likely are due for that. It's a triple bottom right now on MSOS. And the reason why I'm showing this is because that chart is showing another leg down. That increases the odds that CGC will see another leg down and potentially hit that daily bear flag target, like I said, of 221, just over 6% away. And we've got a lot of work to do still. If we take a look at the weekly time frame, we're dropping to weekly lower lows, like I said, all-time lows on the NASDAQ. So we're nowhere near confirming a monthly uptrend, which we know has to happen to be confident that this bear market is behind us and we're potentially entering a new multi-year bull market. So we still have to start the monthly bounce and start all over again. We were trying here with a monthly higher low, and we failed to do so. Actually, it was still in a monthly downtrend with lower highs and lower lows. Then we broke to a new lower low, and here we are, another lower low. So we'll have to start the monthly bounce, then top out, form a higher low and a higher high. So we got multiple months, at least 3 or 4 months before we confirm a monthly uptrend. So I would say, don't expect much to happen in MJ until, potentially the spring. And that lines up with my thinking and my thesis as well, that crypto is probably going to continue to steal the show. We're going to see crypto, big tech, AI continue to be the popular ones. And that's where capital is going to be flowing, right? And then after big tech, crypto, AI tops out, we're probably going to see MJ start to benefit, similar to what happened in 2018 when we had major Canadian reform at the federal level and federal legalization, and we could see legalization at the medical level in the US as well, and then rescheduling safer banking. So we have major reform in the US. I think it's going to be a similar scenario. If we take a look at CGC here on the weekly time frame, kind of lines up with my thinking that it's going to be multiple months. We are potentially seeing a stochastic and a MACD bull cross here, but it's probably a couple weeks away. And we do have rescheduling hearings as well over the next couple of months. So we should see some information with regards to that. But we have 1 week from today until the new administration is inaugurated. There's probably going to be a flurry of executive orders. There was one mentioned about crypto on day one. We know that, Gary Gensler is going to be on his way out, and crypto is probably going to continue to see most of the upside here in the short term. But I do think that crypto will be topping out over the coming, 2 or 3 months. And then that should be good for MJ and small cap stocks. I think, Bitcoin's probably going to top out somewhere around 120, 140K over the next, few weeks. And then we should see alt season. And during that alt season, when money rotates out of Bitcoin into alts, in those smaller cap names, I think something similar is going to happen with big tech. We're going to see money rotate at a big tech the same time Bitcoin rotation happens into altcoins. And then when money rotates at a big tech, we're going to see it go into the medium and small cap names, and you're going to see breadth and expansion in the market opening up. And that also is in line with we had a Power Algo alert go off it was a sell alert that went off. I'm just checking here now on the Power Algo service. So Apple sell alert went off, medium to long-term bearish evidence, Microsoft and Netflix. So again, that kind of bodes well with my thinking that we're probably going to see big tech top out and then rotation into that market expansion into the medium and small caps. If we take a look at CGC on the weekly time frame, moving averages still well below all of those. Long time before we're going to be above those, and once we do hit them, that's going to confirm them as a resistance, and they're going to have to confirm them as new support. So we got at least a couple of months worth of work to do here. Doesn't mean you can't see sizable bounces, but generally we tend to gravitate back towards these moving averages. That's what they do, right? They track they're a lagging indicator, and they track the price. So generally, when we get extended to the upside, we come back down, test it as support. We get extended to the downside, we come back, test it as resistance, and then we look to flip it and do it all over again, right? Support becomes new resistance and vice versa. So right now, it's looking like it's going to be another few months. And that makes a lot of sense because MJ is just not at the top of people's minds, especially from a political view. We have a lot of other issues, pressing issues, and crypto, like I said, seems to be stealing the show. And shout out to David Klein, current CEO of Canopy Growth. He said in a recent interview on TDR that he said, MJ is just not popular right now. Look at a lot of the same people that trade MJ trade crypto. He even said that right in the interview with TDR. So it's almost as if he's been watching POW videos. But again, you don't have to be a genius to figure this out, right? You must be living under a rock if you don't realize that crypto has been stealing the show, and a lot of the same demographic, right? It's usually your 30 middle 30s, like mid 30s male is the average person who invests in MJ and crypto. And again, MJ's been in a almost 5-year bear market, while crypto has been in an almost 5-year bull market. So we have to call a spade a spade. It is what it is. But the good news is, over the next few months, we should start to see some massive upside, and we should see some major catalysts for the sector. Like I said, I think rescheduling, I think safer banking under the new administration is pretty much a done deal. And then, I'm in the camp of thinking, just like Erwin Simon as well, CEO of Tilray, said he believes that there's going to be legalization under the new administration. He did say medical. That's what I want to hit home as well. I agree. I don't think we're going to get full-blown descheduling. I think they'll leave it up to the states, but they will, or I don't think we'll get full-blown recreational. I think we'll get legalization of medical, and then they'll leave it up to the states, whether or not that happens through, the States Act. There's multiple bills going around right now, like the CAOA. So a lot remains to be seen, but we do know that JD Vance and Trump are very pro states' rights and leaving it up to the states. So that makes the most sense to me as well. But nobody has a crystal ball. There's a lot of ways that it could all play out. But one thing's for sure, we'll be keeping tabs on it and following as things progress. We'll be looking at the charts for clues. But as of right now, it's probably going to be at least a few more months, in my opinion, before we start to really gain some momentum because of the fact that MJ is just not popular right now. So eventually the tides will turn and a rising high tide lifts all boats. All right, going in it there. It's Rod with the POW Group. Thanks again for joining us again on the Pursuit of Wealth. Let me know what you think of this in the comment section and we'll continue the conversation there. Also getting a lot of people saying that comments are being removed and whatnot. I don't delete any comments unless they're vulgar or, attacking me or they're disrespectful. Sometimes YouTube will delete things. So if there's certain words or anything like that, it might remove it. Profanity, any kind of thing like that. But I'm not going out there and deleting anybody's comments just so anybody knows, unless they're disrespectful. So as long as you're being respectful to me and other members of the channel, then you won't have a problem. But go and edit there. Have a great night. We'll see you on the next video.